Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really well, always. So, I feel really cool to do a pick a card reading today. And I have actually quite a few new decks that we can work with because I just celebrated my birthday last week and I got given a whole bunch of new decks, which is really exciting. So, the one that we're going to choose from today, I also wanted to give a little shout out to because I haven't really seen anyone else using it. I'm not sure how well known of a deck it is. It's it's by someone called Lily Acuna, who's originally from Chile, and now I think she lives in Australia now. So this is her Oracle deck, Spiral Oracle, and I'm pretty sure it's available on Etsy, hopefully for people in every country, but I'm not sure. So we're going to pick 3 cards from this deck, and it's a lovely, huge deck. It's really beautiful art. So we're going to be looking at what blessings are being born from your current situation, okay? So, yeah, pretty straightforward. All right, so group number 1, Spirit, is going to be the energy of the Andes. Okay, group number 2 is going to be, everything is connected. And group number 3 is life. All right, so really incredible cards, as you can see. So group number 1, just to refresh, because they're all really diverse. The energy of the Andes is group number 1. Group number 2, we've got everything is connected. Oh, sorry, just getting it to focus. And then group number 3 is life. Oh, sorry, I'm getting used to this new camera. Life, come on, focus. There we go. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for now. And then I'll see you at your reading, guys. Bye. Okay, hello group 1. So the energy of the Andes is what you chose. There's a lot of energy coming from this card, but I'm gonna pull a clarifying tarot card so we get some more information. What blessing is coming for group 1 from this situation or this part of their life? What blessing? Okay, so I feel like with this card, see how there's this circular kind of thing? I feel like something is unraveling for you at this time in your life, and that might sound quite strange. And I definitely don't mean it in any kind of a negative sense, because I'm feeling this is a blessing for you, because there are certain, like walls or defense mechanisms or, patterns of like self-sabotage that are coming to an end, and I feel that you are opening your heart again to receiving community and friendship and potentially love as well for some of you guys. I feel as well there's going to be a time where you're coming into a time where you're feeling really curious about life again. You're not feeling as I feel you've come from a time recently, or it might have been your whole life up until this point, where you felt like you had to be very defensive, or you felt like you had to be very independent, or you had to do everything on your own, or it wasn't safe to trust people, or it might have even just been at a subconscious level. You didn't really know how to let people in, or you didn't really know like why you found it challenging to be intimate in relationships, or whatever, these kinds of subconscious blocks that we can feel really burdened by. But what I'm seeing for you is that there's this huge energy of change, and everything is going to kind of shift from one another. So one thing starts moving and then everything starts moving, and there's sort of this domino effect in your life. So I see every kind of area of your life is highlighted. I feel it's very all-encompassing. I do feel for some of you it could be a blessing that's coming in, could be the opportunity to travel or to move home. And I feel especially if you have had an intuition or something to go to a certain place on earth, like to go to a certain city or a certain country, or to go to the mountains, right? Because the Andes is a mountain range in South America. Perhaps you've been having dreams about some place. Like there's been Spirit saying that Spirit has been sending you signs about travel or movement. And what I'm getting is that it's actually connected a lot to your past life. And there's a very important kind of pilgrimage energy going on here, where I feel that you're going to be taken on an adventure, and you're meant to basically be walking to, okay, you're meant to walk on the earth at certain places of the earth. So it could be a city, like Paris, or it could be a country, or like the mountain ranges, like the Andes mountain ranges of South America. It could be bigger or more specific, but Spirit's saying that you have a past life connection here, and there's a very good reason why you're drawn here, and that it's something to honor, and that Spirit's saying that Spirit has been telling you a lot of messages, whether it's symbols, synchronicities, dreams, or just a soul, like a deep yearning to go traveling, or to go to a specific place, or to move home or location, or to just be generally on the move, I feel like there's something coming in for you that's going to lead to a lot of movement, and I don't think that you're actually going to know like many steps ahead of you. Okay, so Spirit's saying you might not even have realize that this is the kind of thing that you have been working towards. You might have thought that, I could travel maybe in like 10 years time or something, or I can move house, maybe at the end of my lease or something. But there's something coming in that you're going to be it's going to feel like an adventure, and it's going to feel like one thing happens and then all of a sudden, 80 more things happen, and from that one thing. So there's a huge sort of domino effect coming in, and you're going to feel very curious about life. You're going to feel really it's a really nice energy. You're going to feel curious about life again, like a child. You're going to feel like you're on an adventure, like, wow, there's so much to discover. And you're going to feel really open-hearted. If you've had any periods in your life, or recently you felt closed-hearted, or you've been going through a tough time, or you've just felt not as social, or you felt that certain things that used to bring you pleasure don't bring you as much pleasure or something. Okay, so Spirit's saying that the joy that you take in living is going to be returning, and you're going to have a real, you might have not thought of yourself as someone who would live like this, you might have, but Spirit's saying you're going to enjoy kind of surrender and control, and being taken on a journey that's guided by your higher self, and you're going to be taken to places. This is the thing. For some of you guys, it could be happening at more of a psychic level, because I know we've got a lot of psychics in this community. So it could be that your clairvoyancy is taking off and you're able to journey astrally. And that's going to be really exciting, because you're going on a lot of different astral journeys that actually we do a lot of those on source codes if you're interested. Link in the description, guys. But yeah, there's a beautiful feminine energy coming in here, because this card at the center, you can see there's there's an eye, and then there's a symbol, and that's the symbolizing the uterus of the female form, it says in the guidebook. And so there's a real feminine time, and with the eye as well, I do see your vision improving a lot. So with the feminine energy, this is what Spirit kind of is saying, is a lot of these things, there's like opportunities will come to you, right? Or invitations will be given to you, or intuitive downloads will come through you, and you will feel divinely guided to take action in a certain way. So you're really pulling these experiences towards you right now. Whatever you're going through in your current situation, I'm hearing, is clearing the way for the good to come in. So you might be going through a period of, you might have felt called to say, like, sell a lot of your possessions, because you might not have even known why, but Spirit's like, well, because you're not going to need so many of them coming up, because you're going to be traveling, or you're going to be moving house, or you're going to have, the abundance to buy, a new couch or something. Couch, I don't know why couch came through. With mountain as well. Okay, so mountain is a mountain range because it's the Andes, so like, well, that's big. But I feel that Spirit's saying you have had to stand strong for a long time. You've had to be very strong and very stable. And you've had to potentially stand your ground in certain situations, or you might have had some adversity recently to do with confrontation or conflict. And I don't think you're someone who really likes to have to confront or be, to hold ground within a conflict within relationships, because it's definitely a challenging thing. But I'm seeing that what you're learning from this is a huge amount of strength, and you're really being called, Spirit saying at this time, to, like, Spirit might be sending you tests where you have to be assertive, or you have to stand up for yourself, or you have to say no to someone that you might feel a bit afraid of saying no to, or something like that. And I'm just getting that it's about testing. It's testing you, because Spirit's bringing you into a new, like, phase of being in relationship with others, and it's going to be incredibly fulfilling. Okay, it's going to be really fulfilling, group one, your experience of relationship. For some of you, it could be that you're going to meet someone that you're going to have a child with or have children with. Okay, for some of you, I'm seeing that really strongly, which is kind of unusual. But that's coming through really strong. So for some of you guys, that is coming in as a blessing that you might not have known was coming in, or you might have known it was coming in, I don't know. But for others of you, I feel you're going to have an expansion in your relationships. You're going to be quite popular, actually, group one. A lot of people are going to be attracted to your energy and a bit magnetized towards you. So a lot of these blessings I'm seeing is happening in the realm of relationships, and in the realm of adventures, and the realm of movement, and feeling curious about life again, feeling enjoying of life again. If you were ever, like I said, going through a period where things you used to enjoy, maybe you don't enjoy as much, or you're, struggling to have the same passion you did for working out, or, whatever. I see a lot of new things coming in. So I see, like, if certain things in your life, like, you might have used to have really enjoyed running, but then you stopped running or something, and Spirit's saying that's because you're going to, like, suddenly fall in love with, like, I don't know, like skydiving or something totally different. So there's this real clearing out energy, and you're bringing in a lot of new energy. And this is why I keep getting this word curious. Spirit saying, be curious about what is coming in for you. Be open, like a child is, like, asking questions like, oh, what could it be like if it's like this? Or if this opportunity, what would my life look like if I said yes to this? And kind of being open to it, instead of initially being like, oh, well, I've never done skydiving before, so I'm not going to do it. Now, I don't know if skydiving is really relevant to many of you, but you know what I mean? It's like, sometimes we can, just be like, no, well, I'm a runner, I always run. And Spirit saying, well, open your identity up to receiving new aspects of yourself, right? Because I feel like you're getting to know new aspects of yourself in this process, and people are going to perceive you as being very adventurous, okay? And this is another reason why I feel you're going to have a bit of magnetism to your energy field moving forward, group one, because for some reason, people are going to see you as being very adventurous. Now, I understand that for some of you, travel or moving house is not on the cards, and that's not really, what's going on. That's fine. But for that, I feel like people are going to see your psychic gifts blossoming, with your clairvoyance, with your ability to see, and they're going to think, wow, you're really adventurous, that you're okay to, read tarot or look into remote view or go on astral journeying or like learning to reclaim past life abilities though. Okay, so that's coming through strong again. I feel the clairvoyancy is the past life thing coming back for you. If you haven't already got it very highly tuned, it's going to be tuned even more, and your divine channel is going to be opening up. We've got this blue on this card with a tinge of purple, the way I'm seeing it in this lighting currently. And I feel this is representative of throat chakra and third eye chakra. So throat chakra, communication, but what I'm seeing for you is divine channel. Your divine channel is opening up, and you have laid this very strong foundation that's probably, well, that has been laid over a very long period of time. Spirit wants you to know that you've been working towards these blessings for a very long time. And you've cultivated a lot of strength to be able to hold a very high frequency when you do channel. So this is going to bring great blessings, not only in your own life, but you're going to bring blessings to people around you, in people's lives around you. Again, the relationships thing is coming in. You might have thought, relationships are a life area for me that's challenging or that's hard or something. And Spirit's like, not anymore. Spirit's saying, you know what? Things are going to be changing for you. You're going to feel truly blessed by the people that you're around, whether this is community, a new friendship group, or you take up a new interest. Like I said, curiosity. You might not even realize that you're going to become interested in something very, very different, like rock climbing or, I don't know, painting or something. And you're going to somehow magnetize to you like people and almost like soul family energy though, that you really truly resonate with, and you're going to have very shared interests about this. And I feel that this is going to take you on an adventure. On an adventure. Okay, let's see some more cards. Group number 1. Blessings for group 1. Whoa. Oh wow, okay. This is exactly what I was getting. Soul star activation, fulfilling contracts and remembering who you are. Yeah. Fulfilling soul contracts. Okay. So, like I said, for some of you guys, and not everyone, but for some of you guys, this soul contract is to do with a love relationship, like a romantic relationship. And I feel that you might be having children with this person, okay? But for others of you, that will not resonate, and that is totally fine. I'm not trying to say you're going to have a kid if you don't want to have a kid. That's not at all the message coming through from Spirit. Spirit's just saying very specifically for some people, this is a general reading. You are going to be meeting someone in a romantic sense, and it will be leading to a child. But for others of you, it's a lot more to do with fulfilling soul contracts with soul family, like these beings, these people that you are meant to be connected with. And for some of you, it could even be like connecting in with spirit guides, having a really strong relationship with your spirit guides. If you've ever felt like, I don't know who my spirit guides are, I don't know if I have any, Spirit is like, well, you do, and you're about to sort of come into a spiritual communion with them and like really be able to co-create a lot more with your guidance. Okay, with soul star activation, all of this is happening at a very spiritual level for you. So what I mean by that is any friends or community members coming in for you is at a very high level. It's at a very soul level. There's a soul level of remembrance and recognition between you guys, and remembering who you are. This is again this message I was getting about your past life stuff coming back. Some of you, it will mean adventuring to a certain place on earth, like journeying there to reclaim some past life energies, and like literally walking on that ground will like make you remember things, like, wow, Egypt, or it will be different for where you feel personally drawn to. It might even be Australia, like, I don't know. But and you might not even know that there's a past life connection until you get there. And then all of a sudden you're like, I remember this place. I feel like I know this place. Or I feel like I remember, being here in a dream or something like that. And that's because it's a past life energy that's coming through for you. Okay, let's get another card. Blessings coming in for group 1. Ooh. Unleash the wild within. Oh my gosh. Group 1. Yeah, this newness that I was picking up on. Like, there's something very new happening for you, and you might have lived a very organized life, right? Like, you might be like, well, I know exactly what my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is going to look like, and it looks the same every week. And then I go to my yoga class on Saturday, and then I see my friend on Sunday, and Spirit's like, okay, throw the routine out, all right? Because there's something very new coming in for you. And it's going to bring so much more of a love for life, like a true love for life. Like, I see you crying tears of joy from your experiences and from your connection with certain beings, spiritual beings as well as human beings, as in like non-physical and physical beings. Like, this is a very huge feeling of knowing yourself. And sometimes we know ourselves through our connection with others, through our relationships with others. Fulfilling soul contracts and remembering who you are, as well as unleash the wild within. There is something about the wildness that's coming through for you, which is connected in what I was saying about there's a new energy coming in for you. Whether you know it or not, there's something very, very new coming in for you. And I feel like Spirit is asking you to kind of let go of aspects of yourself that might be a bit too rigid to do with your identity. Such as, I definitely can't go traveling because I have my yoga class every Saturday. And Spirit's like, look, trust that this traveling opportunity is way better, than than that yoga class routine that has kept you safe and good, for a long time. Spirit's sort of saying, like, be curious and open to the unknown, even though you might be like, but my current thing's going good and I don't want to let it go, and you might be like really clinging to it, because Spirit's saying there's something about you letting go and allowing yourself to be more wild. And again, we've got this feminine energy coming through, so no matter what gender you identify with, there is a huge feminine focus for you at this time. And so what I feel for feminine energy, like how I'm reading it right now for you, feminine energy is like the energy that wants to be in relationship. Like, feminine energy wants connection and unity and union and such like that. So I feel a strong sense of relationships focus for you from this as your blessings, as well as intuitive gifts enhancing, as well as a sense of adventure and embracing the wild unknown and following intuition that will take you to very unexpected places on earth that would bring you so much excitement, joy, as well as love and deep, deep fulfillment. So if you've ever felt recently like, I don't know if I'm super fulfilled by my life, Spirit is saying change will bring in fulfillment, okay? So just know that whatever change is coming in from these blessings, it is going to bring something that is better than the old. So don't be afraid of new, because it's going to bring something better than the old, if that makes sense. Okay, this card. Whoa, we've got Thoth Light Codes, Light Initiation, Great Teacher Awakening, and Divine Magic. Okay. So there might be some Egypt themes here for some people. I actually am going to pull from another deck as well, just so we can get a bit more information about this. But I'm getting such a strong past life theme here. Past life energies coming through, soul contracts being fulfilled. Whew. Yeah. Okay. So I feel that, so we just pulled another card, sorry, I got to show it to you. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. Okay, so what I'm getting from this with the teacher awakening is that you might be having some shadow stuff come up about being a spiritual teacher, okay? Or any kind of, for some of you, it might not be that you even desire to be a spiritual teacher, which is totally fine, but you might be having some shadow stuff coming up about your awakening psychic gifts, or you might have some shadow stuff come up about relationships, like, oh my gosh, what if this relationship is just another failure like the other ones, or what if this person is, going to treat me badly like someone else did, or what if I can't trust this person, or what if I'm not good enough at taking this new opportunity, or what if I fall on my face and everyone laughs at me? Like, this is the kind of shadow energy coming through that is going to be worked through as you embrace these blessings. So Spirit's saying you can't completely free yourself from this shadow emotion of fearing failure until you start to take the action steps that start to move you in a new direction. So, for example, for some of you guys, you might be being really initiated into being a teacher right now, and a lot of things you've been going through recently would have been preparing you to step up in a role of leadership and to teach spiritual concepts, or to use your magic in some way, or your healing in some way. But Spirit's sort of saying you can't completely eradicate that fear, that shadow energy of I'm afraid of failing until you take the action steps and become that teacher and start to prove your paradigm wrong. Okay, you prove your shadow wrong. You're like, no, I'm going to keep doing this because I believe in myself, and because I know that with time, I will start to believe in myself more and more and more and more and more. And you will blossom within that situation. So sometimes I pick up a lot of the time in readings, I pick up people are afraid of beginning because they want to have all their shadow stuff already figured out. They want to be like, okay, I know that I'm like 100% going to succeed now, and I have no fear of failure, so I'm finally ready. And it's like Spirit saying that's kind of never going to happen. For most of us, that's never going to be the case. We have to work through our shadow, through facing it, through going through it, through taking, a chance on ourselves and believing in ourselves, basically. So Spirit's also asking you to be very, very aware that you might have certain, how do we put this? certain shadow aspects coming up that might want to kind of sabotage any growth or movement that's occurring at this time, because of this subconscious fear of failure, okay? And for some of you, it might be more conscious, but what I'm getting is that it doesn't really matter how conscious that it is necessarily, because you want to just be watching for it over the next sort of little while as your blessings are starting to roll in. You just want to be aware of any thought patterns or any behavioral patterns that might be associated with this shadow emotion of failure or this fear of failure. And to really start to work with affirming how capable you are. You are so capable. Whatever you encounter in your life, you can use this as an opportunity to learn and to grow and to become stronger, So I feel like you might want to work with your subconscious mind a bit, because I'm seeing you're being prepared for a lot of stuff here, okay? With light initiation. You're going through initiations right now. That's bringing to you divine magic. That's bringing light codes through you, because you are being awakened as a divine teacher, as a great leader. And of course, this will look different for everyone. But you are here to inspire others to be the light, to be a source of light in the world. So you might want to really be aware of any of those subconscious patterns or belief systems that might keep you from this divine destiny, or that might make you afraid of the truth of who you are, afraid of your divine destiny. And this is honestly the work we've been doing in Source Codes. So if you're already a Source Codes member, then you're already on it and you're doing it. But I would recommend looking into the subconscious mind, listening to sleep tapes every single night, working with like journaling and scripting, and doing the shadow work as it arises, because shadow work will find you, trust me. But just being aware that we do have shadow emotions like fear of failure and stuff, and they can manifest even as, okay, so the other message is coming through. It's a really important message. You need to be aware of what is your intuition and what is your paradigm, okay? And what is your paradigm? Your paradigm, okay, so I talk about all of this on Source Codes, but your paradigm is basically like who you have been conditioned to be. That is not necessarily the truth of who you are, okay? And in our shadow, we have things about ourselves that we find shameful or that we don't like, but we equally have things about ourselves that are really brilliant and beautiful that we might have, disowned because of our childhood conditioning or because of our cultural conditioning, you know? So basically, I feel like you need to be aware that sometimes our intuition can actually be, we have to be very careful about discerning between our intuition and our paradigm, because our paradigm likes to keep us in our little box of comfort, okay? And so our paradigm would say to us, like, no, say no to this opportunity to go traveling because you're just gonna fail anyway, you know? So just say no and just cancel and just don't even go out there. And Spirit's saying that's not your intuition, okay? That's not the voice of Spirit within you. The voice of Spirit within you is so supportive and so, you know, believing in yourself, right? The voice of Spirit within you believes in you because your inner being is connected to Source, which understands that you are so infinite and you have so much power. And of course you can do this, and of course you can make it. You know, that's the kind of energy that we really need to be in touch with. But we need to be discerning, because our intuition is very often, it can be trampled upon because we might have been trained to like block out our intuition or to put it aside so we can get on with life. Or, you know, I can't listen to this right now because, you know, I'm married to this person and I don't want to see that they have this thing that they're doing. You know, these kinds of things where it can be inconvenient. Our truth can be inconvenient, but Spirit's saying make sure that you know the difference between what your paradigm tells you, such as say no to this, no, stay safe, keep in your box, don't do anything, versus, you know, what your intuition says, okay? And trust me, the intuition sometimes is so little subtle, it's such a little subtle thing. Like I was in the supermarket the other day and I had a little shopping list, and then, you know, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get what's on the shopping list. And then I walked past this aisle that had tahini, and this voice in my head that was like, my intuition said, you know, buy some tahini. And I was like, well, it's not on the shopping list. So I didn't buy it. And then I got home and, you know, I thought we had enough tahini for this dish that I was making, and we didn't. And I was like, what the heck? Why didn't I listen to my intuition? Like, what? And it's so crazy because, you know, I listen to my intuition, like I tune in, do you know what I mean? But it's like, it's because the intuition can be so gentle. It can just be this one-time voice saying, hey, buy the tahini. And then it's like, oh, if you ignore that, you know, it goes away. You know what I mean? And then the paradigm sets in. And what was my paradigm in that moment? My paradigm was like, no, I already have a belief that we have enough tahini. So I'm not going to listen to this, you know, counterintuitive message that takes me off track. But that is the key, you know, that's the blessing that we have like built into us as a guidance system, is that our intuition will tell us things and we must listen. And sometimes our paradigm, our conditioning, will tell us things that we might believe as intuition. So we have to be so discerning, because obviously there are also times where it's the right thing to say no, right? You know, you might get a shady feeling about someone. Actually, this is another thing. Be aware right now, you guys, of scammers and stuff, because I actually had an experience recently where I was buying water filters online, and the regular place I buy water filters from, they were out of stock. So we found a separate supplier of water filters, like fluoride filters. And then it turned out to be a complete scam. Like the whole website was basically just stealing money from people here. So another thing, right? We need to like tune in both. Like when it's saying no, we have to tune in and be like, okay, it's saying no. Like my intuition is saying no. And when it's saying yes, we have to be willing to listen to that, even if it's like, oh, but it's not in my plan. Like it wasn't in my plan to buy tahini, but I could have just flippin' done it. You know what I mean? It's not even that hard of a thing to do. It's like, oh, just pick up some more tahini. It's like, fine. So Spirit's saying like you're at this point in your initiations because you are an advanced spiritual being. Therefore, you're going to have initiations that might seem a bit paradoxical. Like you're like, Bridget, what is it? Do I say yes? Do I say no? And Spirit's like, you have to decide. You have to know the difference between your intuition and your paradigm, okay? And that's why I say working with sleep tapes and working with the subconscious mind to empower yourself to understand how you are programmed, and therefore how to reprogram yourself to align to the truth of who you are, to your inner being. That is the most important work we can be doing on Earth right now. I truly believe that, because what is New Earth? It's a paradigm shift. It's just happening at a global scale. So we can go ahead and contribute to New Earth by changing our own paradigm and aligning our new paradigm, our new programming to being one of New Earth. All right, group one, that's all that I have for you today, but I send you off with so much love from my heart to yours, and I really wish you all the best for this next phase of your life. Bye. Okay, hello group two, welcome to your reading. So you chose Everything is Connected. And this card really speaks about that, how everything is connected. And it also speaks about how we can see ourselves, like we are spirit, as well. Kind of like recognizing that we are spirit, we are source energy. And really coming home to that sort of expanded energy of ourselves. And it also talks about everything is connected, like how we treat trees and animals and birds and the soil and everything is also, connected to us. So we have this sacred responsibility to take care of one another and also to take care of the earth and the lands and the soil and the animals, and to treat the animals with kindness and compassion, because we are truly connected to it. So you might be feeling called to like go vegetarian or go vegan or something like that, because I'm picking that up for some of you guys. Maybe you're having that kind of empathy connection with animals right now, or you might be feeling called to like really recognize certain ways that we do have an impact on this earth and that we do have an impact on one another. Okay, but ultimately, I see you moving into a time where you are really taking responsibility and ownership for who you are and how you want to live. And I feel you giving yourself this sacred permission to blossom and to shine your light in the world. Okay, so you might have, I feel like the greatest blessing that's coming in for you is really, it's a hard one to put into words, but it's you recognizing like that the way that you treat yourself and the choices that you make basically impact how you experience all of life. Okay, so it's kind of recognizing that, this is huge spiritual advancement though. Do not underestimate this message as it's coming through, because for you it's a very spiritual blessing that's coming, but it's going to give you so much more power to choose with mindfulness, rather than feeling like your choices are happening on autopilot, or you're stuck in, behaviors of like buying too much food and having lots of wastage at the end of the week and being like, damn, why do I keep, wasting all these vegetables or something? Spirit saying like, you're going to recognize how everything is connected, and that if you just make, a little change here, it's going to impact like every other aspect of your life. So it's also about you feeling like you have a handle over law of attraction and how your thoughts and your behaviors are creating your reality. And you're going to have a huge level up with empowerment of this. And you might have been going through recently experiences that feel quite like adversity, okay? And Spirit's saying it's because it's teaching you, because you're getting leveled up. Okay, so there's so many messages coming through group two. Oh my gosh. So you have been taught a lot of lessons recently. You have been being worked on by your spiritual team and by your higher self. And I see you training, like you've been like running or like training or like owning your power and taking back your power and becoming super bright and super like aligned. And basically what Spirit's saying is the higher vibration that you are, the more that you align with the truth of who you are, means the more power that you have available to you, which translates into manifestation, the more power you have to manifest. But you have to keep in mind that we will also manifest things that are out of alignment just as much as we can equally manifest things that are in alignment. So what I mean by that is you might not realize that you have this trigger about sort of like injustice or something in the world, and it makes you rant and rage, and you go around like basically, like, this is just a really specific example, but you might go around like raging about something that you see as like an injustice in the world, and you develop a lot of emotional momentum towards something that you dislike, and you put a lot of energy towards something that you dislike. And Spirit's saying when you do that, as much as you might feel justified because it's injustice, or you feel like someone has to, bring this to light, Spirit's saying that somehow you are actually creating experiences for yourself that will appear as conflict or that you don't like. You will manifest to you more experiences of injustice when you get worked up about it. And I know that sounds unfair, okay? I know that sounds unfair, and Spirit's not saying it in a way that's like, oh, it's unfair. Spirit's saying that this can be an empowering thing as well. Okay, this doesn't have to be something where you're like, what? So I'm not allowed to, get angry. I'm not allowed to yell. I'm not allowed to fight back, or, what is it, like, say my case. Spirit's like, yes, you can do all of that, but you have to be aware of, like, when we take action, when we're putting energy into our, manifestational vortex, so to speak, as Abraham Hicks says, we are getting more of that thing. So even though we think we're so justified to be in this energy of resentment or blame or anger, all we are doing is creating more of that in our life, because we have put so much momentum towards blame and anger and injustice, and our emotional reaction to that, where we're resisting it to the point where it creates its own point of attraction that brings more of that experience into our reality. And I'm not saying that it's fair. Okay, I'm not saying that it's fair. I'm just saying that it's how reality works. And when we know this, we can start to bring more mindfulness to how we are reacting to things in our life. Because if we are getting worked up, every Tuesday about someone who, is late to work, and they leave you with more work to do every Tuesday morning, and you're like, this is so unfair. And, you go into this injustice thing every time, and, you take action from a place of it's not fair and blame and rage. When we take action from that frequency, we are not manifesting the solution. We have to be able to neutralize that emotional reaction, come into a different state of being, and then take action towards the change that we need to see in the world, right? Seriously, guys, this is so deep stuff. And so, yeah, it's really big though. And what Spirit's saying is, you might not realize everything is connected. Okay, you might not realize that, say you had a situation where, there was an injustice, like someone cut in front of you in line or something, and they, got served first, and, you went home that night and you raged to your partner about it, and you were like, it was so unfair, and they cut in and no one said it, like everyone just ignored me, and, whatever. And then you're raging. And you might not realize that, like, a month later, some other injustice happens, where, I don't know, you're someone, like, I don't know, underpays you or something. And you might not realize that, like, that manifested as a result of that huge emotional reaction that you had a month ago. And this is what it's saying, everything is connected. So you might feel like, oh no, I can just, like, have this emotional reaction here, and that won't impact, my work life or my relationship life or my health. And Spirit's saying, actually, yeah, it will, because everything is connected. So, and it goes as well, like, you might not have an issue with anger or anything. I'm not saying you do, but it's just the examples that I was thinking of. But for example, for me, I've realized recently that if I become aware of thoughts that I'm having that are along the frequency of guilt, like, or something like that, like, oh, I realized that I said something that, made my partner feel bad, and I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't say that, or I wish I hadn't, been so mindless and to done that. And then I will start to manifest some kind of physical pain. And this is what Louise Hay says, that basically pain is a manifestation of basically feeling guilt and therefore self-punishing ourselves for it. And when I've heard about that concept for years, but it's only recently that I've come to a frequency level in my embodiment that I actually start to notice that and observe that that's happening. And this is what Spirit's saying is coming in for you. And this is what Spirit's saying is going to be a huge blessing for you, because do you know how empowering it is to know that? To actually know, like, oh, this, headache I just have all of a sudden is actually me feeling guilty about this pattern that I have, or it's me feeling, invalidated or something like that by someone else. And Spirit's saying it's a very empowering thing, basically. You're going to feel empowered by your understanding of how everything is connected in this reality. And you're going to feel able to make conscious choices in a way that you've never felt able to do before. And number one is because you're going to have the awareness. Like I said, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I know that every time I rage and I flip out about this, like maybe road rage, all I'm doing is manifesting another situation for me to end this pattern with next time, right? Because that's why Spirit is giving it to us, because we are developing our own momentum. So when we get to that next manifestational thing that we've created a month ago, Spirit's like, okay, what are you going to do this time? Are you going to act the same way? Are you going to do it the same way? Are you going to change? Are you going to flip it up? Are you going to change the script? Are you going to be like, I can look at this in a different perspective. I can look at this from a different perspective. I can see this from a different way. And therefore, I can allow my thoughts to change about this situation. Therefore, I can allow my emotional response to change about this situation. And that's when you interrupt the pattern and you end it. So you're going to have the awareness, but you're also going to feel really empowered to make choices that you've probably never felt empowered to do before. And this is so deep, and this is the result of some very deep healing work that you've been doing. Okay, that's the only thing I can think is like, where does this come from? It's come from deep healing work that you've been doing. So if you think about for example, you might have had a subconscious resistance to eating really healthy or something like that. Like, I'm just putting out random examples, you guys. But you might have had a resistance to eating really healthy, and maybe you can do it for like, a week and then you fall off again, and it's like, damn, like, why do I have so much resistance to just making this change? And Spirit's like, you're going to realize how everything's connected, and you're going to understand, you're going to be able to remove this block. This is the biggest blessing coming in for you. It's like this huge obstacle, or many obstacles, whatever has been blocking you from like complete sort of fulfillment and flow and empowerment, where you're like, yeah, I can make exactly the choices I want, and if I want to work out today, then I can. And and you don't have this huge having to build up so much momentum and so much effort just to make a healthy choice. It's like you're going to realize what was blocking you, and it's going to become so effortless. You're going to be like, is that it? Like, now, you're going to be like, this is it. It's so easy. And you're just going to feel like, yeah, like that. Like, you're just going to be like, well, today I'm really excited to, make a vegetable salad or something. And it's just going to feel like you want to choose it. So it's not even hard, and that you're not going to have the same subconscious block that pulls you off track every time you start developing momentum. So you must have been doing some deep spiritual work, group 2, because you're getting the rewards for it, like really big time, actually. And I'm seeing again this huge healing of your subconscious energy. And what I mean by that is the blocks within us, like I said, that might keep us from eating healthy, and it can even be from past life stuff. Seriously, I've been channeling a reading for source codes, and it's about our past life, what past lives we need to know. And you would be surprised how deep this stuff goes, like our aversion to a meditation practice or our aversion to eating healthy. You would be surprised how much that actually traces back to our past lives. And maybe, our thing of like, yeah, but when I was so disciplined in a past life, it didn't work out for me that well, or whatever else. And so we have this aversion to discipline, and we want to rebel against it. Or or it could even be paradigm like, everyone in your family ate a certain way. So for you to change your eating patterns, it might bring up all this subconscious paranoia of like, oh, but that means that I'm abandoning my family, or I'm changing my lineage, or I'm changing my family karma. And it might bring up all this subconscious resistance that you didn't even know was there. And as soon as you shine a light onto it and you're like, oh, I have resistance because, for 7 generations back, my family hasn't eaten healthy, and now I'm here to change that and to reclaim health for my entire bloodline. Like, yeah, that's a big thing to do. So you understanding how everything is interconnected is going to be such an empowering energy for you, and you're going to feel incredibly aligned to your higher self, like so aligned to your higher self that honestly it's almost a union. Like, this is so ideal for you, group 2. This is amazing. You're going to feel like you're in a union with your higher self, and therefore, of course, making choices that are honoring of yourself, that's going to feel like no thing, because you're not going to have so much resistance to just doing the thing that is healthy, to just doing the thing. Okay, wow. So for group 2, Spirit, what would you like them to know? Oh my goodness, group 2, you have the biggest energy here. You know, what have we got here? Are you serious? We've got eagle communion. And what did I say about you being like in a union with your higher self? Exactly. This is like, this eagle is like your higher self, and this is you. You know, this person is you. And you're just like in constant communication with your higher self, in constant communion with your higher self. And you know what else this is going to be doing? This is going to allow you to see things from a really high perspective. Because what have we got with eagle? We've got a bird that flies as high as any other bird, like higher than any other bird, which means that it has a certain perspective, right? Become eagle-eyed, right? Because you can see things from a very vast perspective, and that is the kind of perspective that our higher self and spirit has. And I see you unlocking this like hidden superpower that you might have not even knew that you had within you, which is your ability to see from a higher perspective, and which is your ability to basically see, of course this thing manifested, because, you know, 2 weeks ago I was thinking about this thing, or 1 day ago I was thinking about this thing. And don't worry, this is going to be in positive ways as well. Like, it's not only like, oh, I manifest bad things for myself, like, no. But it's going to be the positive stuff as well. Like, oh wow, you know, I realized that I actually called in this exact specific situation or opportunity, and now it's right in front of me. Like, wow, you're going to feel your own power in a way that's like been it's going to be unlocked. your power's unleashed now, and you're going to feel really empowered to also really take responsibility for how you are creating things, and being okay with how you're creating things, instead of feeling victimized by how you're creating things, feeling empowered by that, and feeling able to look at it from your higher self perspective, instead of sort of feeling victimized by that. You're going to feel empowered by that, which is a huge shift. It's a huge shift. It takes a lot of spiritual work to get there. Trust me. Like, you're really being rewarded by your own hard work and by your own, let's see. Group 2 spirit. Whew. My gosh. Chamber of the Violet Flame, karmic release, radical transformation. Are you for real? So yeah, Violet Flame, Chamber of the Violet Flame, and karmic release. Exactly. I see a huge karmic release for you, where you are now going to have like very little if any, I don't know, very, very little blocks between you and your power, between you and your freedom, between, you know, your ability to choose what you want to choose, instead of feeling like, oh, I'm so like chained to this toxic thing. You know, you're going to be like, oh, of course I can, you know, just say no to that toxic thing. Or you're going to find the perfect pathway to healing your health, or you're going to recognize like, whatever ancestral karma that may have been subconsciously blocking you from your growth, it's going to be released, and you're going to be set free. And goodness me, it's very positive. It's very, very, very positive, okay? I also see you really being so okay with who you are and with your own choices. And I see that you are not really going to care anymore if people are like judging you, or you know, having really low vibrational perceptions of you or your life. You're really not going to care anymore. There's a real empowerment that's coming through your connection with spirit and your higher self, to the point where you're going to be feeling very independent from others, but in a very empowered way. You're going to feel really like, it's not that you don't care what other people think, but it's like you just don't need to tune into that anymore, because you're so tuned into your like higher self and your guidance system, and you're so focused on that, and you're so living in your own frequency of pure love and harmony for yourself, like pure love for yourself, that you kind of like, you're going to be like, huh? Oh, someone thought this of me? Oh, that's weird. And it's like you're going to forget that other people even have a perception of you, because you're so like focused on your mission and your own like soul family and your own love for yourself and for spirit and your own connection to spirit. So it's like you're gonna be freed. Like, exactly, it's a freedom energy. It's and look what we got in the back of the deck: love and compassion. I'm pulling this. Yeah, you're gonna feel a lot of love in yourself and for others. So even if you do hear like, because I'm seeing that some of your energy, it might be quite, I don't want to say triggering, because it's annoying, but what I'm getting, group 2, is that you're going to be so high vibrational moving forward. This is part of your blessing, is operating from an incredibly high frequency, like all of the time, that you have to be aware that, people who are at a lower frequency, they might not always interpret you in the most flattering way. And like I said, I don't really think that you're going to care very much, because that's just the energy I'm getting, is like you're so focused that you're like, oh, they thought that of me? Oh well. But Spirit's saying just like you're gonna just basically have compassion for them. If they are thinking certain things about you or making up stories about you, because I feel like you're going to stir the energy up around you. Like you probably aren't even gonna mean to do this. Like it's just you being like, oh, I found this thing that I love, and people are gonna be like, some people might be a bit about it. And let's pull another card about this, because I'm like, why is this coming through? Maybe you're meant to be public in some way, because whenever I get messages about how other people are perceiving you, oftentimes I'm like, Spirit, come on, like, there's always going to be, the whole world's a stage. Like there's always going to be people who are looking at you and interpreting you in a certain way, that's nothing to do with you. So I'm like, why is this coming through exactly? Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Okay, let's pull one more. Okay, because I'm like, hello. One more. Imagination. Okay, yeah. So you're going to be very inspiring to others. Okay, this is the empowering aspect of it. A lot of people are going to be inspired by you. They're going to be like, what have you been doing? Please show me. Please tell me. I want to know. I want to make changes like you do. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. They'll see that you have really kind of like manifested through your vision something really amazing. Friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And then I heard, and sometimes for a season. Okay, so I've heard that from other tarot readers before. They're like, people are in your life for a reason, or a season, or a reason, or I don't know. Now I can't remember what it is. But for some of you guys, it might be that you really stepping into your power. And I hate to say this, but this is often what comes through for people in these psychic readings. It's interesting how human psychology is. But for some of you guys, stepping into such a degree of your power and your empowerment and your health and your alignment and these things, some of you people in your community or something, they might kind of not like it. Like they might have liked the older version of you that was less empowered because it was more relatable to them or something, and they're not growing in the same rate. Because honestly, group 2, you are growing at such a rate that I wouldn't be surprised if not a lot of people can catch up, okay, or keep up with you. And it's just not everyone's destiny to do this much spiritual work that you've been doing in this lifetime, and to do this much claiming of your power and these kinds of things. So Spirit's saying that, honestly, if you get any conflict arising at any point in this empowerment journey of yours that's really accelerating at this point, just know that people are responding to a high vibration in you, okay? They're not responding to anything you've done as wrong. Spirit wants you to know that you haven't done anything wrong, because I feel like you're very empathic and you probably care a lot about the people in your life. But you have to be aware that some people might not fully love this change for you, okay? Some people might be like, what's that? They might not love it, okay? And so you have to be able to stay in your compassion and your love and just like really stay aligned, because I don't think this is going to bother you too much. And honestly, like I really don't, but you might be a little bit disappointed by some people's reaction. That's the ultimate message Spirit wants. It's like, you might think that everyone would celebrate that you are on a new health regime, or that you have, finally been able to meditate for 6 months straight, and it's, brought up so much power for you. It's like, you might think that, oh, of course, people will celebrate me for this, right? Not everyone, okay? Unfortunately, not everyone. And that's what Spirit wants to know. So Spirit just wants you to know that it's nothing to do with you in a negative way. It's actually to do with you in a positive way, because it's certain people not able to celebrate you, okay? And certain people aren't able to celebrate anyone. Honestly, that's what I found in my life. Yeah, broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace is on the back of the deck as I'm talking. Yeah, so you just need to maintain your own inner peace, okay? and not worry about, because honestly, group 2, you are going to be so shining bright. You're going to be like this violet flame, violet flame, that's magical. That's so beautiful. You're going to have a lot of people interested in your energy. And like I said, for some of you, you might be public, you might be performers of some kind, singers, or you might be on YouTube or something like that. And there's something to do with your public, people seeing you, and people thinking like, oh, you don't give a heck what other people think about you. And that is so attractive about you. But some people are going to be like trying to kind of bring you into conflict, and Spirit's like, embrace the energy of peace. Okay, you don't need to be in any kind of conflict. And I know it's kind of like, you're like, but this is a blessings reading, Bridget. I know, but it's what's come through. And honestly, all of it's so perfect and like positive that, the only thing is just to watch other people. Like, you can't, okay, so Spirit's saying like, it's so beautiful and positive, but you can't expect for every other person in your life to be here, okay? You can't expect that, because I know so often, especially when we have spiritual change, we're like, oh my gosh, if I share this information, everyone's going to want to get on board, or like everyone's going to want to make this change. And like, oh, if they just knew, then they would just make the change like I did. And it's like, that's not the case. Okay. A lot of the time people are not interested in change. A lot of the time. So you kind of just have to be okay with that, even if it is quite challenging. Okay, so let's get some more information about the blessings coming from this time. Okay, Spirit saying there's certain things that are being kept secret from you. Oracle, wait for important information, which is very interesting. So there's certain aspects of this, because like I said, it's all very spiritual. Like the blessings that are coming in, I'm only speaking of energy. I'm not really speaking that much of things that have, in a physical way manifest, like. But what I'm seeing is that's because it's all encompassing. And when you change the inner world, your outer world changes in totality. So it's like you're changing the root of everything. You're changing your energy, what you are putting out as frequency, which changes everything in your life. And I'm seeing abundance in every area of your life coming in for you. When you are completely aligned with this power within you and with the truth of who you are, how can abundance not come in for you? How can you not be in perfect health? How could you not attract amazing people into your life? How could you not be working your dream job? Okay? So Spirit's saying, if you aren't 100% sure how things are going to manifest for you, if you're like, yeah, but Bridget, I don't know what my dream job is yet, or I don't know, something. I don't know what health thing to practice yet. Don't worry about it, because important information is going to be coming into your experience, and this is part of the blessings. So make sure that you are open to it. Make sure that you allow your imagination to be set free, and that you don't just instantly be like, oh no, I'm not going to do this thing because blah, blah, blah. Like, be open to it, and also be open to receiving messages from everywhere, basically, from your whole world, because there's a lot of if you have already set the intention, I'm seeing you've already been doing prayer work or intention setting, or you've already just started making choices that align you with this really amazing timeline. So you're already on path. You're already on this timeline. There's really nothing. You're completely in alignment right now, no matter what that looks like for you. No matter if you're like, really? Yeah, you are. Spirit wants you to know. Even if you're going through adversity or struggle, that doesn't mean that we aren't in alignment. And in fact, a lot of the time, the more advanced of a soul that you are, and the more that you're here to be on that ascension journey and like go from here to here in a lifetime, like really ascend, well, yeah, that means dark night of the soul. That means a lot of shadow work, right? That means confronting that karmic ancestral like bondage and freeing yourself from it. So Spirit saying you're totally in alignment. Wait for important information, because you're going to be fed the answers as you go. Spirit doesn't ever really tell us everything that's in front, okay? Spirit gives us as much information as we need at the perfect time, and we just have to trust in that. All right, so one more card for group number 2, Spirit, about their blessings. Wow, shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. So I actually feel like for some of you guys, this is also going to look like a physical glow up for you, like your physical appearance changing as well in a beautiful way, especially if you are doing things to work towards, a greater experience of health or wellness or peace, like through meditation or something like that. And I also feel with the shapeshifter that the blessings are like, blessings plural, please. Okay, it's not one blessing, it's many, 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 many. It's shapeshifter. It's like your whole life is going to be shapeshifting. Your whole life will be changing around the inner work that you're doing and this karmic release that's going on. So this is huge. Like this is the best place that you can be in on earth, spirit, group 2 spirit, because you are aligned to doing that internal work that therefore changes everything around you externally, right? And that's where you want to be. You don't want to get too lost in just like working on one external thing if the internal world is not aligned to it, right? We have to do the inner work to align, and then the action becomes effortless, the doing becomes easy, the way becomes clear. All right, so that's all I have for you, group 2, but my goodness me. I mean, go out, enjoy it, you know? I'm just sending you so much love for your journey, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hey group 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose life. And I definitely can't help but notice the third eye opening, this flowering of your third eye, blossoming of your intuitive gifts. I want to pull some other cards to see what this reading is about for you. Okay, Spirit, so tuning in with group 3, clearing the energy of group 2, please. Tuning in with group 3, and what blessings are coming in for them right now, Spirit? Okay, so we got the 9 of Cups, which is really my wish fulfillment card. So there's something you've been working towards, or a manifestation that you may have had in your mind's eye for years, actually, I'm seeing for some of you. And it's going to come into completion, and you're going to feel a real sense of fulfillment, and like I'm getting this like thing, you're gonna be like, yeah, this is what life's about, you know, this is what life's about. It's about like working towards my dreams and manifesting things. And you're gonna remember, look at the energy of these cards, they're really similar coloring. You're going to be remembering why it is you signed up for this experience on earth in the first place. Like that's what I'm really seeing for you, is this real sense of like, oh yes, this is it, this is the why life, like this is the meaning of life. So it's a significant manifestation, like it's not just some little thing. I see that it's very significant, and that's why I'm feeling for a lot of you guys it might have been something you've been working towards for many, many years, or something you've been visualizing and working towards for a while, or maybe even a dream from childhood, like you always wanted to grow up and be, I don't know, some kind of a dancer or something, and now you've gotten the opportunity of your lifetime. Like this is the kind of energy I'm getting. So talking about blessings, there you go. I mean, can't really get much better than that. And I'm seeing you're going to treasure it, okay? Because see, on this 9 of Cups, there's like a diamond, there's like a treasure chest down under the water where she is. And there's like all these jewels and diamonds and stuff, treasure. So it's like you're going to feel treasured, but you're also going to treasure this experience that is what it's bringing into your life. It's just genuinely like a very, very, very positive energy that I'm getting. And I feel as well a very strong emphasis on emotional fulfillment, okay? Emotional fulfillment. And this is why are we not focusing? Okay. This is important because a lot of the time we can feel like, oh, the thing that I need is, you know, the physical manifestation of it. Like it's the new house, or it's the new car, or it's the whatever, you know, but it's actually about how it makes us feel in our heart space, like how it makes us feel. And sometimes we don't even know what the best situations that spirit can align for us are that make us feel the most joy and fulfillment. So kind of be open a little bit, I guess. I feel like it might come in a different avenue than you expected, okay? I do feel that. Okay, and we've got autumnal equinox release. So for you guys in the northern hemisphere of the earth right now, you're actually moving into autumn, and you'll have that autumnal equinox. I think it's in September. For us in the southern hemisphere, it's going in spring. But I feel like this card, obviously this is a timeless reading, so don't worry too much about times, but I feel like this is saying release the need to have control over how some of your blessings manifest. So for example, if you're like, oh no, I definitely need to move house to this one suburb. And Spirit's like, well, actually, we're going to take you like across the world to a totally different country, and trust, it's going to be better than you could ever imagine. You see what I mean? It's kind of like release the need to be in control of the practicalities of how this manifests for you, these blessings manifest for you, because definitely more than one blessing. And be open to like the magic of the universe is what I'm getting, because like there's so much magic that we have around us, and sometimes we can like block the flow of effortless attraction and effortless manifestation that is truly in the highest good for all, because we're trying to block it and we're trying to control it and make it go in a certain direction. And we're like, no, take this flow and I need to put it over here. And Spirit's like, don't even try, because it's not even going to manifest in the same way. Like it's like Spirit wants you to know that Spirit can manifest something for you that is beyond your wildest dreams. So even the dream that you are visualizing, because I'm seeing some of you guys have been doing visualization, which is definitely going well for you, by the way. But if you're doing visualization, right, you're like, this is my ideal life and I'm imagining exactly what it looks like and with who's there and what I'm doing and where I am and all these things. And Spirit's like, great, keep focusing on that. But remember, it's about how those things make you feel when you're visualizing it. And then leave the door open for those things, or for that feeling to manifest in your life, like that feeling of total fulfillment, wish fulfilled, like, wow. Be open to how that starts to manifest for you, because you might be taken on a journey that you don't quite expect. And look, we got on the back of the deck, new beginnings, dawn. So there is a huge new beginning coming in for you. That is definitely a huge blessing coming in for you. Let's keep going. Group number 3. Group 3. Okay. We've gone back of the deck. Halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, and great lessons. Interesting. So some of this stuff you might have been picking up and it's confirmation, but also we've got emerald tablet activation, cosmic ordering, divine alchemy, and conscious manifesting. So with conscious manifesting, this is definitely very interesting. I see you really working the law of attraction and really knowing basically how to work consciously, such as why I was seeing you doing visualizations and meditations or some kind of spiritual practice to bring in manifestations, because I see that you've been focusing on a blessing and you've been working towards a blessing. But I also feel like we've got so much energy coming through, but I also feel that you need to be open to, like, conscious manifesting also is aligning with the wisdom of the universe, which knows how to manifest the best thing in the perfect time frame, in the perfect way, and better than you could even ever imagine it, right? And so that's kind of part of what conscious manifesting is. It's about allowing the universe to work for us. It's about allowing ourselves to be moved in directions that we may have not quite anticipated, but we're like, you know what? Okay, or it's about allowing ourselves to change, release. Sometimes we have to release things and change. Or it's about allowing ourselves to release the resistance to what needs to be done in the moment. Like you might set an intention that you want to work on, physical exercise or something, and then you get a little, intuition to join a dance class, and it's like, okay, I need to release the resistance to stepping out of my comfort zone and just go for it, because you're bringing in a whole new time for you. It's like a whole new era for you. And I see huge heart chakra activations for you. Okay, this is a big message. Huge heart chakra activations for you, where you're going to feel very open-hearted in a way that you haven't before, and really able to like love and be loved in a very harmonious and balanced and equal way. Okay, so I pulled these cards before. We've got empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. So interesting. What I'm actually getting from this is this message about being open to seeing the way that you want things to manifest, which is still important, by the way. I'm not trying to downplay that at all, but also being open to see how Spirit's going to manifest that for you, right? And especially when we align to what is in the highest good for all beings on earth. And this is really important to do with your manifesting, because when you do align something you're manifesting to being of the highest good to all beings on earth, then that means you evoke, you call in spiritual assistance, basically. So your manifestation becomes something that the divine can get behind that will benefit all beings. And that is something that has a great power to it. And when we align to that power of source, it's alignment. When we align that which we want to manifest with the good of all beings on this whole planet, in this whole universe, like that is such a powerful thing. So when we do that, though, we have to surrender a little bit of control, right? Because we're saying, okay, this or something better. I'm seeing it like this, but it can be this, or it can be something better than this. Do you know what I mean? And that's what Spirit wants you to know, is that when you release that control of how it has to look, or when it has to come by, or, who it has to come through, because we definitely can't get attached to people when we're manifesting, okay? That's definitely not something we want to do, because people have free will. They're the hardest things to manifest. But it's like when you align, you're like, okay, I surrender my attachment to this person over here, and me having to marry that person, for example, and you're like, okay, I want something that is truly going to bring me, my highest good, that is going to bring me my greatest fulfillment, my greatest joy, my greatest timeline. Like that is the perfect thing to align to. And then in that way, we can just release it. We can release that other person over there. And the thing is that you say to Spirit, you say, this or something better. So Spirit's saying, listen to your intuitions, listen to your inspirations, listen to your motivations. So when you are attracted to somebody, for example, because for some reason, some of you guys might be manifesting a loved one, I'm seeing, because this is coming through as the example. But anyway, if you feel attraction to somebody, or you really like the way that somebody is, or the way that they make you feel, or the way that their lifestyle is, or something like that, and you're like, yeah, that's my ideal partner over here, I found them on Instagram and it's them. Spirit's like, okay, hold back a second, and just be like, okay, talk to Spirit about it, and be like, Spirit, see this person over here, I really like this, I really like this, I really like this, I really like this, and I love this. And Spirit's like, great, and then you release it, and you're like, so what my shopping list is, or whatever, and then you're like, and this or something better, and it doesn't have to come through this person, and it doesn't have to come according to my time frame, which is right now, I really want it right now. But I release that, and I'm willing to kind of receive what is in my greatest good and my greatest joy. So, gratitude, here we go, it's another card I pulled. Gratitude, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Okay, practicing gratitude is going to be one of the best ways to speed up your manifestation, if that's something you're interested in. Because for some of you guys, I'm seeing that you're keen. You're like, I'm ready. I want this thing. Come on, Spirit, bring it on. I'm here. I'm ready. And I see this passion in you with this tiger and with life. And Spirit's like, that's awesome. But focusing on gratitude for what you have right now is a really important aspect of all of these blessings coming in for you quicker, okay? Because it's not a matter of if they're coming in. It's just a matter of when for you, okay? So don't worry about that, about timing, okay? I'm really getting that, okay? This is probably also about, this card's talking about release timing, okay? Release the time frame of when it has to come, because Spirit knows way better than that. And ultimately, we cannot always know why something has to come in at the time that it needs to come in until kind of later down the line, like in our future, we can be like, of course this had to come in then, or of course I had to go through that first, or of course I didn't want to manifest all of that right away because I had to go through this other thing or let this other thing go. It all makes sense in the end. So trust. But gratitude, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So practicing gratitude like every single day is super important for you, because you know what it's going to do? It's just going to like make your heart explode. Your heart's going to be so expanded. You're going to be feeling, and you know what? That makes you so magnetic. So gratitude, and especially as you're manifesting things, because I see that you are you're my group. You're my beautiful group threes who are consciously manifesting. Okay, so you're like, okay, I've got my little list of what I'm here to do in this life. You know what I mean? You're like, I know exactly what I'm here to do. And you're like, I want it. I feel your passion. You're like, I want this, I want it. Or many things, Why are you not focusing? Okay, so that is so cool. But Spirit's saying sometimes when we're consciously manifesting something, like we're consciously very aware of what it is that we are desiring to experience, we can sometimes actually block it from coming to us because we are not really aware that we might be embodying the frequency of not having it. Okay, so let's break it down. Law of attraction. We have to be in the energy of like wish fulfilled, right? We have our wish fulfilled. What is the feeling that you have of being with your divine counterpart, for example, if that is what you might be manifesting, right? what does it feel like? And live that out every day as close as you can, right? As close as you can to that. You know, what would your choices be? What would your habits be? Would you still be doing like X, Y, and Z if you had your divine counterpart living with you and you weren't, living alone anymore? Would you do things some differently? Like, it's about sort of living in that state of wish fulfilled as often as you can, because that is what brings it in. And what is the state of wish fulfilled? Largely, it's gratitude. It's appreciation. It's being like, oh, yes, I appreciate that I have this thing and that I didn't used to have this thing. And I appreciate that now I do have this thing, right? So it's sort of Spirit saying, like, practice gratitude. And if you find it hard to pretend like the wish is fulfilled, although that is a really strong practice, and I would definitely recommend it. It's Neville Goddard's work, actually, the wish fulfilled process of manifestation, where you just like hold that energy as much of the time as you can. You're just like, yeah, this is a certainty that this is coming in for me. Just like it's a certainty when you go up to a coffee shop and you order your latte, you're like, yeah, I know that they're making me my latte. Like, you don't have to like stress out and be like calling the manager and be like, wait, it's been 2 minutes, what's going on? Like, Spirit's like, you can chill out a bit, right? When we do this conscious manifestation, a lot of the time, the biggest work is releasing it. Is being like, okay, I placed my order and now I just let it go. And I trust that it is manifesting for me in the best way possible for all beings on all of Earth, right? Which is amazing. So the gratitude thing is important because what it does is it brings in the frequency of you already having the thing, right? Instead of the frequency of like, I really want this thing and I'm looking at this person's Instagram and I'm seeing that I'm not with them, like, what is that doing? That's repelling the energy away from you, because you're only cultivating this energy of, I don't have this thing and I feel like it needs to happen now. So Spirit saying, release timing, focus on the gratitude. I feel like you might have already been doing that. And appreciation, like I said, it doesn't have to be the wish fulfilled energy all the time. I do a practice of every morning now where I practice gratitude for like 25 minutes before I get out of bed, and it's so powerful. It's so beautiful, guys. You can really do so much with that energy. Like, with the energy of gratitude and appreciation, and to, really take notice of everything you have in your life and how many belongings you have in your home, and like how many luxuries that we have to do with like water and air and this earth and our ability to live and love and know people. There's so much we can expand upon to do with gratitude, and what it does is opens our heart space right up, and we basically invite more good into our life. Because when we're like, yeah, I feel really good, and I feel like I have all these things that I really love, that is a frequency. And you're sending out, hey, universe, I'm going to experience more of this feeling of loving life and feeling like I have all these things that I love, Okay. Let's see. Oh, we already done so many of those cards. Let's get this deck. Group 3. Okay. What blessings are coming in for them, Spirit? Okay, so this is what I was picking up earlier in your reading. Spirit is keeping secrets from you. All right, Spirit is like, I'm not going to tell you what's coming in. So I feel like this is probably because you're my group who would maybe get to like into the nitty gritty and like try to control it and change. Like you would change it if you knew. You love having the plan. You love seeing exactly where you're going. You love planning. You love being in the driver's seat. You love being empowered. You love conscious manifesting, and all of that is great. But Spirit's like, okay, but I'm going to surprise you. Okay? Some of you guys might be like, I hate surprises. But Spirit's like, yeah, but I know you. Okay? I know you better than you even know yourself sometimes, because I see all of it, And Spirit's saying trust, because we got trust in the unknown, Sky Father. So pretty much I was like, what blessings are coming in, Spirit's like, just trust in the unknown. So there's a very clear message that you are kind of getting a surprise. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, okay, we've also got Star Ancestor. Follow the voice of your soul. Okay, so this is what Spirit's saying. The end product, right? The end product. The end thing, like the wish fulfilled feeling that you have coming for you, the wish fulfilled moment that you have. Spirit's saying trust in the unknown, because Spirit's going to deliver it to you in the best possible way. It's kind of like Spirit's saying, like, you might have not even known that this was on the menu. Like, you might have been looking at your menu just being like, I think I'll get like this or this. And Spirit's like, haha, you didn't even know that, you know, I've made your favorite dish and it's not even on the menu, but I'm going to give you that instead because you're going to love it way more than anything else on the menu. And you're going to be like, okay, I'll just wait for this thing over here. I'm getting this thing. And Spirit's like, no. So there's a beauty to it though, and again, Spirit's wanting you to feel excited and really truly excited and happy that this is happening for you, that you are having a blessing from the divine, from Spirit herself, from God. You know, the divine itself is blessing you, and it's beautiful. Look, the thing is, Spirit's saying, like, you can still go ahead and do your conscious manifesting, right? You can still go ahead and be like, yeah, but I really like this thing in a partner. I really want this thing in a partner. There's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? Because Spirit's saying, follow the voice of your soul. And you are being guided right now in terms of being shown things that you desire. You're being guided in being more aware of what it is that lights you up, what it is that brings your soul out, your passion, your fire. And these are all very important things. And Spirit is also saying that, of course, there are certain steps that you need to do to get the wish fulfilled thing happened, right? So for example, in the example of like you're going out into a coffee shop and you're placing an order, you know, what do you need to do to get to that point where Spirit can bring you that unexpected, you know, thing off the menu item? What do you have to do? You have to, you know, travel to the cafe. You have to enter the cafe. You know, you have to line yourself up and be like, okay, I'm ready to receive. I'm ordering this thing. I know basically what it is that I want, but I'm also open to getting something better than this. And then you sit and you wait and you know for sure that it's coming in, right? And that is your process right now. That is how you're going to manifest in this next phase of your life consciously. And Spirit's saying, follow the voice of your soul is the part of you that's guiding you to that coffee shop that morning. You know, it's the voice inside of you that's guiding you to take certain actions, to move in a certain direction. Or it's the voice inside of you that's saying, I really love, you know, I really want to be with a partner who's an adventurer or who's really funny or something like that. And that Spirit's saying, yeah, that's the voice of your soul. And you can follow that and you can answer that. And you can recognize the divinity in that. Okay. What else have we got? Group 3 for their blessings, Spirit. Oh, arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. We're going to have to clarify this because this is a different energy than we had before. The divine matrix, interconnectedness and synchronicity. Oh, and God incidences, which I'm guessing is like coincidences, but they said God incidences, which is cute. Divine matrix, interconnectedness and synchronicity. And then we got surround yourself with protective energy. Look, I'm going to have to get another couple cards, group 3, because this is just getting more and more mysterious now. Dreamtime creation. I'm going to get one more. Cave and sanctuary. Okay, hold on. I want to make sure. Okay, yeah. Spirit saying trust. Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Trust. But also be aware that there might be some need to feel like you have your sanctuary around you, or feeling like you might be getting messages to do with certain people or persons or peoples that you might want to pull a bit back from right now, or you might want to like not share certain ideas that you have towards what you're wanting to be manifesting, okay? Because I think that you're a very trustworthy person, and you're very trusting of a person, okay? Which is beautiful. But keep in mind, everybody, the south node of the moon is in Scorpio right now, which astrologically kind of speaking, go check out Braca Goldsmith's channel if you're interested in learning more. You can look in about the nodes, south node of the moon it's called, and it's in Scorpio right now. And what this is meaning for us as a collective is that there's a lot of deceptive energy that's being unearthed at this time on Earth. And on Earth, there's a lot of deceptive energy that's being unearthed right now. And there's also a tendency for spirit to start to teach us lessons around trust and around who we give information to or who we trust with our business or our money or our time, okay? Because there's a lot of scammers out there right now. I'm sure you've seen on my channel, we had a scammer like 6 months ago or something now. But I've seen it on basically like every YouTube channel at this point. They've had scammers. And I also actually bought water filters last month from a business that was a complete scam. They had a whole business going that was fake, and they are just basically stealing money from people. So keep in mind that there is a lot of interesting life lessons coming up around deception and around needing to know about trust and sort of sanctuary, and to, recognize that we are safe and that we also create our own safety by listening to our inner voice and listening to the synchronicities, like, this synchronicity I can't ignore, you know what I mean? And even if it's, you're like, I don't want to be suspicious of people. Spirit's like, yeah, but there's a certain level of protection that you kind of need to be aware of right now, in terms of like, just make sure you're really following the voice of your soul. Exactly. And if your inner voice is like, I got a bad feeling about this thing, or I don't know if I should tell this person, what my idea is, Spirit's like, yeah, don't do it. Because the other thing I'm getting, and it's just taking it in a different direction, but the other thing that I'm getting is that with Dreamtime creation, you have a lot of like fertility right now, you have a lot of fertile ideas right now, you have a lot of creativity right now, and Spirit saying some people might try to copy you or try to like take that idea from you before you have like the opportunity to like manifest it into the earth. So make sure that if you do have a really important idea or you have really important art, that you are basically keeping it in your own little sanctuary until it's time to be released into the earth. And just being wise about who you're sharing ideas with, or any kind of intuitions you feel about certain people as they are arising, okay? Interesting message. Is there anything else to say about that, Spirit? We've got memories of Atlantis on the back of the deck, spiritual acceleration, progress, and technology. Interesting, because to me, Atlantis, and look, we've got the Ankh here, which is from Egypt, an Egyptian symbol. Both of these ancient civilizations to me hold a lot of darkness, a lot of dark energy that sort of came into the core of them, and then kind of like, I think is one of the reasons why they fell. And I haven't been able to like necessarily, I haven't even found that much evidence of that, but it's just what my intuition tells me about these places. So there is sort of like a more of like, deceptive like essence in there, like some kind of darkness or some kind of practices that were pretty much not great from these civilizations. But what I'm getting is like kind of the need to be aware of the duality of life, because you are very consciously creating very beautiful things, and your spiritual acceleration is definitely accelerating, and you are progressing, and you do possess great abilities to download information and to put it out into the world through your creativity and through your artwork, even if it's more technology or more of a masculine form of creativity like inventions or something. But for a lot of you it could be a lot more feminine creativity like art or painting or channeling or something. But I'm not talking about gender, I'm just talking about energy. But there's something being unlocked for you, okay? Because I see this like archway. It looks like a lock that you would put a key into, okay? Memories of Atlantis. So there's the need to, okay, so you might actually be finding that there's some kind of, because we got follow the voice of your soul star ancestor, there might be some kind of a pattern that might be trying to repeat from a past life, and Spirit is saying do not let it happen, okay? Do not let this pattern repeat. Okay, let's see a little bit more about what this pattern is, Spirit. Wise one, grow within your current situation. Just gonna get another card. Service, I feel good when I help others. Grow within your current situation. Memories of Atlantis. New beginnings. Spirit, what are you trying to say here? New beginnings. Memories of Atlantis. Grow within your current situation. Service, I feel good when I help others. Dream time. Protect yourself with protective energy. Synchronicities. I feel like what I'm getting from this is okay, so this is a really intense message. So you are meant to be downloading something through your consciousness, through your creativity, that is very important for the collective. And you really need to be able to do it. You really need to be able to channel it in a way that is like it's part of your mission. It's very important, basically. This reading has been taken over by this message. Spirit is like, there is something very important that you are here to download through your consciousness. You are here to channel through you, through especially your crown chakra and through the rest of your chakra system. And it's going to awaken a kundalini creative awakening where you are going to be able to be of service to others through your creativity, through your artwork. And for many of you, this has already begun. Like, for example, if you've already been channeling art, you've already been doing some kind of you've already had ideas, you've already had downloads, so it's going to grow and grow and grow upon this. And there's a very important timeline that you are now approaching, that you are now entering. And Spirit is saying that essentially you really need to get this work out into the world. And if that means being a little bit more in your sanctuary for a while and being a little bit more like closed off from everyday life and being a little bit more okay with new beginnings and letting go, because there is an acceleration to do with your mission where you're going to be really of service to other people. And you need to be able to know that something within you needs to be protected, and potentially as well an idea that you have really needs to be protected, and you can't just share it with anybody, right? It has to be very held closely into your heart and really honored by your soul. It's really big stuff here, guys. So there's going to be this acceleration exactly with your spiritual progress and with your ability to like download some kind of idea. And again, it might be you already know what this could be about, but for a lot of you guys, it's going to be something quite different, and it's going to take you in a totally different direction, or it's going to be an expansion upon that thing that's going to feel really, 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 really fulfilling for you. But there's a real need to remember duality, okay? Remember the fact that we live on Earth, and right now we have duality. So there are people equally with positive intentions who wish to help you, and there are also people equally with negative intentions who wish to harm you. And you need to be aware of both things. We can't sort of turn the blinders off at this thing and only look at what we want to look at, because ultimately we're kind of just ignoring something that needs to be taken care of, right? It's kind of like if you have like a cut on you and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to forget about it, instead of just like caring for it and putting a band-aid on it and just being like, oh, I need to acknowledge this thing even if I don't like it. Instead you're like, oh, I just want to pretend like I don't have a cut. I'm just going to pretend like it's not there, right? It's sort of like we all can do this. So we have to acknowledge the darker side of life in a way that is empowering, not in a way that we get stuck there or we just focusing on that and nothing else, but in a way that's balanced and harmonious, because you need to have something come through for you. You need to download this. You like, the world needs it. It's not just you, like the world needs you to do this thing. It's very big. And so Spirit is calling in like all the protection and stuff. Like you don't have to worry about being protected, but you do have to worry about being discerning. Okay? You do have to worry about being discerning. Okay. Last card for you, group number 3 is Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. So Spirit's saying you've already been training for this and you're already ready for this, and it's already like on its way for you, and you're already able to receive it with grace and mastery, because you have had to reach a certain level of mastery to receive this download, and you're either almost there or you are there. So don't doubt your abilities. Don't doubt your path, because Spirit's saying you're going to grow within your current situation. So even if you're like, yeah, but how am I supposed to, I get this download, but how am I supposed to implement it immediately? Spirit's like, don't worry. wise one. You're going to grow within your current situation. It's all going to kind of unfold from itself. Follow the synchronicities. Follow the coincidences, the God incidences, right? Because it's going to make you be like, aha, aha. It's going to really like light your path for you. So yeah, be graceful in movement and action, Shaolin Master. I mean, this is some serious power you've got coming through you, through your divine channel. And divine channel is like your creativity, your like all of these different things is your divine channel. All right, group 3. Wow, what a really intense reading. I mean, wow. I send you off with so much love today, and I do hope this did help you in some way. And yeah, I'll see you another time. Bye.